The summer I turned 9, the woman who climbed the steepest path in Ogimi every morning was 92. Her name was Fumi, and she carried 2 buckets of water up a hill that made my legs burn at 9 years old, and she did it before breakfast, humming, like the hill owed her nothing. I remember standing at the bottom, watching her back get smaller against the green, thinking, that is not possible. Old women don't move like that. But she did, every morning, for as long as I can remember, and she was not the only one. There were 4 or 5 of them, gray-haired, bent a little at the shoulders, who moved through their days the way younger women moved through theirs. Gardens, hauling, the long walk to the shore and back. Nobody in my village thought this was remarkable. It was just Tuesday. It took me leaving and coming back and reading what researchers had actually measured about villages like mine to understand that what looked ordinary to a child was one of the most studied, most real patterns of aging on Earth. I want to tell you what was really underneath it. My name is Hannah. I am 79 years old, and I still live near where I was born, in Ogimi, in the north of Okinawa. I grew up beside the sweet potato fields, weeding beside my mother before I was tall enough to see over the leaves. I still garden. I still swim in the summer. I still walk the hills behind my house, and in my own village, at 79, I am still counted among the young ones. I say that plainly, not to boast, only so you understand who is talking to you. Here is what I want you to hold on to for now. The number 900. The word moai. The year 1949. I will give each one its meaning before we finish. You do not need money for this. You do not need a special kitchen. Even if your knees are already bad, even if you live alone and cook only for yourself, even if you have tried everything already and quietly given up, this still works, and it starts tomorrow morning, and the walk is not the secret. The timing is. Let me tell you what I see, quietly, in women your age. Not sickness. Something smaller and easier to miss. An afternoon that used to belong to you, now belongs to a nap you didn't plan. Stairs in your own house that ask a question they never used to ask. A grocery bag that gets split into 2 trips instead of 1, and you tell yourself, that's just being sensible. It adds up, and it isn't your fault, and it isn't simply your age either. It's often just the rhythm of the day working against you instead of for you. And here's the quiet cost in plain terms. A month of specialty teas or supplements chasing this feeling runs you what, $40, $60? That's not nothing. That's a bus fare to see your grandchildren, twice over, spent instead on a jar that promises energy in a spoonful. So let me tell you what we actually did back when I was a girl, and what your own body still knows how to do with it. Start with when we ate. In my mother's kitchen, the biggest meal of the day came at midday, not at night. Not because anyone had a theory about it. Because the fields were hot in the afternoon and you needed the fuel before the work, not after it. That's tier 3. That's just how the day was shaped. Tradition and common sense, nothing more. But here's where the modern evidence leans the same direction. Tier 1, well studied, your body handles the same calories differently depending on when you eat them. Insulin sensitivity is generally better earlier in the day than late at night. That's not folklore. That's been shown again and again in metabolic research, in people who have nothing to do with Okinawa at all. So an earlier, larger meal and a smaller supper isn't a rule I'm handing you from the mountain. It's a small adjustment, and if you're on medication for blood pressure or diabetes, This is exactly the moment to loop in your doctor before you shift meal timing or portion size in any real way. Not because it's dangerous to ask, but because your medication schedule was built around your old rhythm, and it deserves to know about the new one. Now, the plate itself. Ours was root vegetables, the purple sweet potato most of all, which is what actually fed this island for generations, far more than rice ever did. Bitter melon, we call it Goya, cut thin and cooked with a little egg and tofu. Soy in many forms, miso in the soup. Meat was a small guest at the table, not the host. This is Tier 2, traditional and documented. Researchers who have spent decades studying the diets here, going back to surveys done just after the war, found a pattern that was heavy in plants, moderate in calories, and remarkably light on the processed stuff that fills a shelf today. What modern nutrition science says, Tier 1 this time, is that plant-forward, calorie-moderate eating is broadly linked to healthier markers, blood sugar, blood pressure, weight, across many populations, not just mine. I won't pretend Okinawa invented good metabolism. Before we continue, I want to mention that a lot of people asked me to put all of this information and my secrets into one place, and that's why I started my own ebook store. If you are interested in supporting me and you enjoy my content, make sure to have a look at grandmahannah.store. It is also linked in the comments of this video. Or just point your phone at the little square in the corner. That takes you there too. Now, back to the plate. I'll just tell you, the old plate and the modern research are pointing at each other, politely, from opposite ends of the room. And if you like the idea of seaweed or ginger the way we sometimes use them, here's the caveat spoken plainly, right where it belongs. Seaweed is rich in iodine, and if you have a thyroid condition, that's a conversation with your pharmacist first. Ginger, and turmeric too, can interact with blood thinners in real quantity. Small amounts in cooking are one thing. Deciding to take them seriously is a question for the person who already manages your prescriptions. Then there's hara hachibu. Eat until you are about 8 parts of 10 full. Not fasting, not restriction, just stopping while there's still a little room. The way you'd leave a party while you're still enjoying it. My grandmother said it without ever explaining it. She just pushed her bowl a small distance away and called it done. And the walking, not exercise in the gym sense. A walk to the garden, a walk to a neighbor's. Uphill some days, because that's simply where the houses are. If your knees complain now, start smaller than feels necessary. 5 minutes is a real walk, not a lesser one. Use the cane if the cane helps. Balance matters more than pride does. And if you have a heart condition or new pain that wasn't there before, your doctor comes first, before any of this. Now let me be honest with you, the way I'd want someone to be honest with me. Researchers will tell you, correctly, that you cannot prove an island's diet caused anyone's long life just by watching from the outside. Genetics plays a hand. So does how carefully old ages were ever recorded. I am not going to pretend this works the same for everyone, and I am not going to pretend Okinawa is magic. But smaller is not zero. The eating pattern, the portioning, the daily movement, those pieces hold up in study after study, on their own, regardless of what island you were born on. There's one more piece, though, that the people who study my village for a living think matters just as much as anything on this plate. I'm not telling you yet. Hold that thought with me a little longer. I am not going to tell you anyone hid this from you. Something quieter happened. Let me tell you what I watched over the years from my own kitchen window. When I was a girl, everyone ate the way my mother ate. There was no other way. Then the roads got better, the shops got fuller, and the young people had somewhere else to be. They moved to Naha, to the cities, for work, for school, for a different life than the one their grandmothers had. And little by little, the table changed. Not all at once. A can here, a shortcut there, a meal eaten standing up, instead of sitting down together. Nobody decided to let go of the old ways. They just got busy, the way young people do everywhere, and the knowledge that used to pass from a grandmother's hands to a granddaughter's hands, over rice and over years, stopped passing quite so easily. And here is the part that still catches me. The old people who kept eating the old way, who kept walking to their own fields, who kept their moai, they kept living, long and active, the way they always had. The younger ones who grew up eating differently did not carry the same advantage forward. Researchers who study my island have written about exactly this, the longevity advantage thinning out, generation by generation, as the diet changed. I did not need a study to see it. I only needed to watch my own neighbor's children. Before I go on, tell me in the comments which part of the old routine you already do without knowing it had a name. The early dinner, the garden walk, the tea after lunch. I read every one. I keep a running count, and the most common answer decides which piece gets its own full video next. Now, the part I promised you. Stay with me. Because you stayed, here is the part I save for the people who stay. It is not the sweet potato. It is not the walk. It is the moai, a small circle of women who expect to hear from each other, who share food and share the load of growing older. Researchers who study my village point to this as its own documented thread in those long, active lives, separate from diet, separate from genetics. Not a cure for anything, just company that keeps its promises. You don't need a formal one. You need 2 or 3 people who expect your call. If your knees are already bad and you think none of this is for you, stay with me. This next part is specifically for you. Nothing here asks you to do more than you can already do. It asks you to do it differently. Start with the meal. This week, move your largest meal earlier. Dinner before the evening gets late. Not a strict clock, just earlier than you do now. Build the plate the old way. Root vegetables taking up most of the space. A modest portion of protein, tofu or fish, off to the side. Eat slowly. Stop when you are comfortably satisfied, not full. That is harahachibu, unhurried, mindful portioning. It is not a diet. It is not fasting. It is simply stopping a little sooner than habit tells you to. If you are on blood pressure or diabetes medication, talk to your doctor or pharmacist before changing your meal timing or portions in any real way. That conversation is quick, and it is worth having first. Next, the walk. Not a program, a short walk, once a day. If you have never done this, start with 5 or 10 minutes. Size to what feels safe today, not what you did 20 years ago. If your knees argue with you, that is fine. Walk slower, walk shorter, or do the movement sitting down, working your ankles and knees gently in your chair. Use a cane or a support without one moment of embarrassment. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. If you have a heart condition or new pain anywhere, see your doctor before you begin. This is not a race. Nobody in my village is racing. Before you go to bed tonight, put your walking shoes by the door. Just that. Let tomorrow you find them there. And this week, call one person from your own moai, a sister, a neighbor, an old friend. Same day, same time, every week from now on. That is how the rhythm starts. Not a big call, not a long letter, 5 minutes, maybe less. That small habit, done every week, is worth more than it looks. It costs you nothing but attention. Here is what we can actually point to. There is a real research program, going decades now, studying my island's oldest people, the Okinawa Centenarian Study. It is not a rumor, not a legend. It is named researchers, published work. What they found, plainly, a dietary pattern built around sweet potato as the daily staple, plant forward, calorie moderate, and a documented tradition of hara hachibu alongside it. They also studied something else, just as carefully, how well our oldest people kept their own independence, late into life. Not perfect health, not no hardship, but functional independence, studied and documented, longer than researchers expected. And they studied moai too, not as sentiment, but as a real, named social structure, tracked alongside those same long lives. 3 names worth knowing, plainly translated, hara hachibu, eating until comfortably satisfied. Moai, the circle that checks on you. Ikigai, your reason for getting up. These are not vague wisdom. They are named, studied practices. What the same researchers also documented. Honestly, younger Okinawan generations, eating differently, have lost some of that old advantage. That decline is real, and it is on the record. Most people who try this notice their afternoons feel steadier within a few weeks. Not cured, steadier. So let me pull it back, all the way out, to the one thing worth remembering. An earlier dinner, portions that stop at comfortably satisfied. A short walk, most days, sized to what your knees can actually give you today, and a call to someone who expects to hear from you. That is the whole routine. It was never complicated. It was just easy to forget. If you are the kind of person who intends to still be strong at 80, this is the kind of small thing that gets you there. Not a program, not a transformation, just this, done again tomorrow and the day after that. Your body is not done with you. Now tell me something. Where are you watching this from tonight? What city, what corner of the world? And of everything we talked about, which one thing will you actually try this week? The early dinner, the short walk, the one phone call? Write it down in the comments, and while you are there, scroll a little and read what some of the others have said. You will find people your own age, further along the same path, further along the same road as you. If this video genuinely helped you, if something in it settled something in you, a like or a subscribe helps this channel keep going. Not for the numbers, but because it lets me keep making these, carefully, the way they should be made. Next time I want to sit with you over something else from the old kitchen. Something small, something you can start tonight, the same as always. I think you will like where we go.